Rose and I today are going to talk about the word queer and its evolution in the LGBT community. Queer for a long time was a slur in the LGBT community used by non-LGBT people to insult, demean, everything you do with a slur. The same as like the N-word or other words that I don't want to think about right now because they're rude and mean. For a long time, queer was one of them. However, there is a practice in many marginalized communities of reclaiming slurs. I don't want to say any examples because with reclaimed slurs, in a lot of cases, it's not a word that people outside of the community can say. And so I don't want to say any of those words because it would not be my place to say them. Part of what reclaiming a slur is taking something that has been used violently or negatively towards you and making it positive. And so for a long time, throughout a lot of history, the word queer has been negative and harmful and violent sometimes. But at this point, I guess it's one of the words where we've put our foot down and we've said we refuse to be hurt by this word. We're gonna make it ours. And so the LGBT community has started reclaiming the word queer. I need to make it perfectly clear though, not everybody has. Some people still think of it as a slur, and therefore an important thing to do is not call someone queer if they aren't comfortable with it, because to some people it could bring back bad memories or they still just find it offensive. So while Rose and I both reclaim the word queer, and Jenny did in that past video and a lot of my friends do, I do know there are some people who still find it offensive or uncomfortable, so definitely be careful with that. But know that for people who do use the word queer, for me, I am okay if people describe me as queer. But I know that that is not the case for everybody.
Another thing, if you run into someone in the LGBT community who finds it a slur, don't try and convince them to use it, just accept the fact that they don't like it. But if you run into a cisgender straight person who does not know very much about it, who thinks it's a slur and is confused why you're using it, feel free to explain to them that you've chosen to use that word and you don't mean it as a slur.
And actually, that's an important dynamic, is that for the people who think of it as a slur, don't try to make them reclaim it, and for the people who have reclaimed it, don't try to make them think it's a slur. Some reasons why the word queer in its current use is, in our opinion, a good and useful word.
The word queer is very all-encompassing for the LGBT community because over time we've started adding letters, so like when you're trying to include everyone, you can just start saying LGBTQIA. You just keep adding letters to the end.
Because there are so many identities. So many identities.
But you can just say, hey, I'm queer, and that can mean anything. Like, for me, myself, I could say, hi, I'm queer, or I could say, hi, I'm transgender, panromantic, asexual, and that takes longer and has a lot of explaining to do about it.
For a long time, the word gay was used to do that all-encompassing thing. And we still do that sometimes. The way we see it, the problem with using gay is that to some people, especially to people who are ignorant of the LGBT community, gay means gay. On the one hand, it's great shorthand, but on the other hand, the same way that some people feel that queer is a slur, some people feel that by calling the community gay, we're lumping us all in with the gays.
Which kind of erases the visibility of anyone who isn't cisgender and attracted to only the same gender.
Going off of what she said in the beginning about how queer is all-encompassing, I, and lots of other people, like to use the word queer because we don't have to define ourselves. We can identify to the world as a member of the queer community without having to say, yes, I am these three things. You can just say, I'm queer, and that puts you in that community without having to define yourself, either because you don't know how to define yourself or you're not comfortable defining every bit of your identity to the world or to a group of people.
To build off of that, there are many, many places that accept like LGB but not quite T as much, or
some places
weird,
that just like the L and the G.
Yeah, that are just weird around like trans people or people who aren't lesbian or gay. And for those places, if they are places I want to be, I can say, hi, I'm queer. And it's really nice to not keep it a secret, but also not be discriminated for it.
The word queer is a powerful tool. That's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more like it. There is only one more video in LGBT month because it is towards the end of June now. Wow. I hope you are having a beautiful Saturday. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!